Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and we are going to be joined with Bismark today. Bismark, you're out in France. Is it a nice afternoon where you're at?
It's the start of the night. It's almost 9 p.m. here, but it's really fun to be with you again. Almost 1 year after our first video together, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, Bismark was my very first interviewee on this channel 1 year ago. So 1 year ago, literally from right now, Bismark and I sat down on stream. Actually, we were live, and I was asking him a whole bunch of questions that he did not have the answers to.
Yeah, a lot of questions without answers.
And Bismark, for those that don't know you, you are the founder of WoTVcalc, right?
Yes.
And
since 1 year and 1 week ago, I checked. You
got the exact day.
Happened. It was 26 April of 2020.
Oh, that's awesome. I feel like April's just a really big month because it's also my marriage anniversary. So it's like, never forget WoTVcalc marriage anniversary. Like, get them, get them lined up and get them perfect. So in the spirit of, you know, kind of this 1 year ago, we sat down and interviewed each other. We're going to do another interview, and we're going to talk about WoTVcalc. And then later on another separate interview, we're going to do a flip interview, which will be pretty fun.
Yes.
So for those of you looking forward to that, that'll probably be a separate video on both Bismark and mine's channel. I think we're both going to be uploading it probably at the same time. No, we haven't figured that out yet, but we will.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead, and I have a ton of questions to ask you, and you will be able to answer them this time, I promise. So
maybe not.
I think you'll be able to. My first question: what inspired you to start WoTVcalc?
I think the major part come from the fact that I love the data of the games since almost the beginning of when I start playing video games. I think the first time I did some calc was for World of Warcraft.
Oh, really?
Before every website who now help you to theory craft, I made some sheets to help my guildies to get the better stuff. And I keep doing that since that time. So I love to understand how games work thanks to numbers, because every game is mainly some numbers. And I also love to explain it to other people. So that's why I created WoTVcalc.
That's awesome. And WoTVcalc, I mean, you've had other websites as well. Like you've had Brave Exvius websites too, right?
Yeah, I had FFB chain.com to help people how to understand how the chaining work in FFB because it's really different than WoTVision one.
If I remember that correctly, because I was a Brave Exvius player, that website basically showed what frames certain abilities worked at, right? And then you had to synchronize the frames with other abilities of the same frames in order to chain and then chain finish.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure
that was some crazy data to analyze.
Yeah, that sounds ridiculous. Now, there's a lot going on WoTVcalc, and I'm kind of curious, is it a one-man process? Is there multiple people involved, or is it just you?
It's mainly just me. Only the new designs, but now it's not really new because it's almost, I think, 10 months ago. I take some help for people to design it. But every implementation, it's only me.
So whenever you're kind of creating websites like this, I imagine, there has to be some big mistakes that you make. Now, what is the biggest mistake that you've made with WoTVcalc?
I think the biggest mistakes where I'm on it, it's how I manage skills for units and cars and every other stuff in the website actually, because for every unit, let's imagine we have 2 units with the same skill. I have 2 copies of the skills in my data, not in the Mars Legion data. So now I want to do some tricks about skills, but it's really breaks me on that. So I'm working on it.
So it's very
regroup every skill in one database.
So it's very bloated, basically. The code is bloated. Yeah. Where, like, if you had, like, Blade Soul on one character, you would have to have, like, 10 iterations of Blade Soul for every single character.
Yes.
That actually, and then you probably have to duplicate that for JP as well, right?
Yes. Exactly.
Which can just kind of blow it up, I'm sure. And I'm sure it's really frustrating if you delete one and then you have to figure out what on earth you're doing. On the flip side of that, though, what are you most proud of with WoTVcalc?
I think it's the stuff around the builders to really try to understand how every stat is calculated for units, because every calculation formulas we don't have access to that because it's in the code of the game, and we don't have access of the code of the game. But I think it's almost perfect. Sometimes it's 1 point off, but I'm pretty proud of that to have been able to decipher every aspect of the stat calculation.
And when you talk about not having access to the code for the game, this is something we talked about in our very first interview, but I think a lot of people might not understand what you mean by that, because I know recently I did a video that talked about the differences between Wolf's tool and Shalzut's data dump and what those differences were. Can you explain, how do we not have access to that information?
Because we can see the War of the Vision game in 2 parts. The first part is what we call assets, so the images, the translation data, and the unit card data. Some of those files are encrypted, like the unit data. Even if you download the APK from your phone to your computer, you won't have access directly to the data. So you need someone to hack the file.
Mm-hmm.
And the other part of the game is the code which tell you when you click on this button how the game should react when you attack a unit, how the damage I calculated, etc. And every code it's also encrypted, and it's really hard to dig into it. So it will require the hacking of another level, and it required a lot of time to decipher everything.
So essentially there's multiple levels of encryption, it sounds like. Is that so like the surface level, so like the units and stuff, that's pretty easy, but once you get into equations and stuff for damage formula, it's really difficult?
Yes.
And of course, I am not a coder. I don't know anything about this, so I'm just gonna leave it at that, and I trust that you're an expert on this. One of the questions I was really curious about is what your traffic is on WoTVcalc. How many people use it? What regions use it? Do you have that information readily available?
it's really fun that you tell me this question, because this afternoon I prepare I dig into my analytics tool. So
you dug in, huh?
some numbers about that. So maybe we can see them together. So if we talk about where the people come from in WoTVcalc, here is some top country. I talk about sessions. So every time a user click or better come to WoTVcalc, it's count as one session. So the US are first by many more numbers than everything else. And after, it's the top 2 and top 3 are really close together. It's Indonesia and Philippines. But I'm not really surprised, because for FLB Chin, it was almost the same. Unfortunately, the France is outside of the top 3, but we are fifth. It's not so bad.
Who's fourth now, I have to ask? Is that UK?
If my memory is good, I think it's Canada.
Canada. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And Japan is 20th. That's not so bad, because it's kind of logical. They have less people in Japan than every other country, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's interesting that Japan's so low. You would think that they would utilize your website more, but I guess WoTVcalc is probably really dominated on the global side just because content creators use it, and it was not in Japanese at first, right?
Yes. And I think the Japanese people are used to Altema. It's like their main website for mobile games. They are used to it since years and years ago. So I think it's pretty logical.
Awesome. Do you have any other statistics to share with us?
Yeah, I can. I take the top unit visited on the website since day one. So we have some stuff. So
this is not surprising.
Yeah, for the global version, the main unit visited, it's Orlando. It's pretty crazy, because it was one of the first units, but it's still first after so long. Gilgamesh, same, it's 2, and Agrias, it's 3rd. And for Japan, it's totally different. It's Tubi, Yuna, and Sakura.
That's funny.
So it's pretty fun. I think Tubi, it's Yuna, and Yuna, I think it's many global players when the unit came out. They go check how are the skills of the unit, the stat and stuff.
Wow, so that's funny.
It's pretty good to see the difference of.
I would say it makes total sense that Gilgamesh and Agrias are at the top list on the GL units.
Clear.
Like, I think.
Yeah, go for it.
No, I just. Especially right now with how dominant Gilgamesh is, like it makes sense to me.
Yeah, clearly. The egg job of Gilgamesh is really cool. And maybe some last stats about the real traffic to see the difference between the first day. I think it was here. I think almost 2,000 page view, and now. So we are some peaks. Here was the release of the egg job for the Japanese version. So the first year of Japanese, we see maybe a little difference before between the day before.
Yeah.
Here was the second top peak was the release of the winter unit in global.
Yeah.
Or yes,
That's surprising. It's surprising to me that the winter units peaked it so high.
Yeah, clearly. It's really oh no, maybe no. It was not winter unit.
Dwayne.
It was near automata unit in Japan.
Mm-hmm. Where was
because
Dwayne at?
Dwayne, maybe between the two peaks.
Yeah.
Don't know. Yeah, weird.
And what's that peak in January, do you think?
What come after near Japan? Don't remember.
King Mont came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had the Christmas units and then they had King Mont.
Yeah. Yeah. So 3 weeks later.
And then April.
And April, since the release, since the first anniversary of Global, the total traffic keep an high level.
Yeah.
Before so yeah, clearly the first anniversary was some good stuff for the game.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, definitely with Final Fantasy VII, it'll be interesting to see how high it peaks with the Final Fantasy VII data released, and probably it'll be the highest it's ever been, I imagine.
Not sure because it's here. I think the last peak is from Cloud and Tifa.
Yeah. But I mean, I think everybody wants Aerith, right?
Yeah. I'm waiting the data. I want them. I want to see.
I think Aerith's going to be great.
What can we do with her?
Yeah. So just a curious question for me, because I don't understand this type of stuff. How much does it cost to keep WoTVcalc updated and uploaded?
If we talk about times to adapt and to get the new data, almost everything is automatized now. So like our last patch in Global took me less than 5 minutes to integrate in the website.
Wow.
But because it's a global version, so almost everything is already developed because everything comes from the Japan version.
Yeah.
And the Japan version is different. It depends how many stuff they change. Like Tifa, it took me sometimes to understand what was the explosive fist because I just have the translation. I don't have the unit fully leveled up to see. So okay, explosive fist. What does that mean? What it is? So it depends, but it took me often when I get the data 1 year, I think. But like the first anniversary of the Japan with the exo job and 3 stars spare took me, I think, almost a week to integrate everything and to really understand everything.
Yeah.
So it is depend.
In terms of money, how much does it cost to keep it uploaded, like to actually run WoTVcalc?
It costs 30 euros per month.
That's it?
Yeah, that's all.
Holy cow. I would have thought it would have been way more expensive than that.
No. Because and it's not the only website on my server, so if I divide every website I run on it, it will cost less, but you can manage to have a website running from low money.
So you run your own server then, basically?
Yes.
Wow, that's
since
cool.
Long time, since way before FABA chain.
Wow. If you were to completely change WoTVcalc from the ground up, what would be the thing that you would change about it?
Whoa. What? I don't think I would change anything.
No?
I like how it is now. only yes, the skill stuff we
Right.
talk about before, but I like how it works. So I don't think I would change anything.
Do you ever see a future where WoTVcalc will have user account data at all? Because I feel like that would be both dangerous, but also we've seen some Brave Exvius pages do it, right?
Yeah. I know Liaquart from FABequipe.com.
Yep.
Who have the calc part for FAB. So yes, since he released it, I think about it since almost day one for Evasion Calc, but still didn't take time to dig and to hack that part because like everything, the user data are not available
Right.
for free and publicly. So maybe one day, but I first want to finish every stuff I have in mind for Evasion Calc before
what is that?
going on it.
What do you have in mind for the future? I'm curious. Next year when we're sitting down and talking, what are we gonna say? What are we gonna say that you achieved in a year?
I think the main stuff I want to be able to get is understand how the AE work. So how the auto mode works really to help people understand which skill is better to activate or not. But I already have some data on that from
so
the
is
game.
that like an AI calculator, or is that like, what would that look like?
I still don't know. I need more time to dig in the file because it's really weird how the files are looking. I was expecting to see something with maybe some rates, some orders, and have skill IDs or stuff like that. Nothing. We have some numbers, some text, but nothing where I can see the link with the game. So I don't know, but I will take some time to dig on it in the year.
So you're going to be researching like the unit AI is basically what you're trying to figure out now, is why a unit behaves the way it does. Now you got me curious because everybody kind of knows that little Leela breaks the game at certain points. And we've tested it on my stream, actually, that it's an AI bug, that little Leela's AI will break the game. So now I'm wondering if you're going to find that, if you're going to find the bug before the developers find it.
Yeah, could be a possibility, but it's the file really don't look what I expect, so it
might take a while.
Hard work. Yeah. But maybe since we are on the surprise stuff, almost like everything, we do something together every time. I saw some little stuff about the future. So
let's show. You didn't even tell me about this, so I'm a little excited.
No, I was keeping the secret. So okay, I still don't put the link. Everything,
it's not public yet.
Maybe you can have some ideas what is behind that.
Is that an item farmer?
No.
What is it? It has events and story missions on it. Is it EXP calculator?
No.
Because you have the EXP on it too, though.
Yes. It's the last columns. Maybe I can click on some quest.
Whoa. Oh, that's so cool.
I think that's the main part where the people would love to see to maybe anticipate some stuff.
That's awesome. So you have elevation there, right?
Yes, that's all. Every numbers you can see on the map, and the colors change if the level is higher than another.
Wow, that's
and
so
you have
cool.
the position of enemies, your position, some allies.
And it lists the enemies
have
too,
side.
doesn't it?
And some enemies, some images, and the name and stuff.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. And so you have that for every story mission, everything.
For every quest available on the game. So the PvP map, even I think I saw them. I can find them here. No.
So this will be for both global and JP.
Yes.
And so we'll be able to look ahead and plan, essentially.
You can plan ahead. So maybe if we check quickly, can that. So maybe let's say the next Esper to have 3 stars.
Yeah.
I don't know one, but Omega we already have it. Column is already done.
Tetrasulfide just happened.
Should be Diabolos, the 3rd star of Diabolos. So you can already plan it. You will know where you can place your units, where the enemy will be, and Diabolos will be here.
Oh, that's really cool. So you
can plan everything right now.
That's incredible. So I'm curious now, because looking at this is information that I've like looked for in the past. Are you going to make it so that I could like click on Diablos there and it would show what his resistances are by chance, or what attacks he has as well?
Not for the first version, because I think this version is ready. So I think when we will be release these videos, I will publish this part of the website, so everyone can access it.
That is amazing.
And after, yes, I will work on the skills, the resistance, and that's why I'll talk about the skills on the bad stuff, because enemies have skill depending on the map. So maybe Diabolos on this map have skill A, but on another map he will have skill B. So that's why I need to rework every stuff around the skill on the whole website before release the skill part for
that's so fun.
the enemies.
So you don't know this, Bismark, but I was actually going to ask you for information like this, if you had access to information like this, because we have a lot of people who are wanting like specific guides on 3-star Esper fights coming up, right? And there's no resources for me to show people, or for me to even find on like what type of attack, you know what I mean? Or whether it's elemental magic, area, single effect, whether they have, other things about them that should be shared, right? And I mean, at a certain point, like you can just say like, oh yeah, put dark resistance on and leave it at that, right? But with information like that, it could be like way more specific, and you could plan, and you could say like, get jump height 3 on your unit or something.
Yeah, you can even plan your killers, for example. Right now, I think it's one of the parts of the game which is really not used, or unless the human killer. But maybe you can plan some stuff. But we have also some.
Wow.
They have killers here. I think we have one of the guild quests with no killers. Yeah. We have sometimes some really weird stuff.
Yeah.
We have some Sanctum Monk, and they aren't human.
Huh.
Why?
That's
Don't
funny.
They have no species. That's crazy.
I wonder if that's going to show up later in the game now, though. Are all Sanctum Monks non-human?
Maybe. I don't know.
Now you got me curious.
I need to check. No, I think every Sanctum Monk shouldn't have a species because it's not map related for this data. So
Right.
But yeah, this map is the map with the more enemies possible. It's the guild quest number 4.
So
we have 31 enemies.
So now that you're doing this, right? The next natural question is, do you have tower up? Do you have the tower floors loaded?
I think I didn't try to find them, but should be, since I have every quest in the game.
Right, every stage.
Even the tutorial one, so should be somewhere, but maybe we have a lot of quests, more than 1,000.
Yeah. Well, and you probably you probably didn't input them all individually. You probably programmed it to look through the data and add it in, right?
Yeah. We have them.
Tower
launch. No.
So those are quests,
that's
though.
not that.
Try porcelain, maybe. Oh, yeah. Try just porcelain.
No, that's the same.
Try typing 25, because there's only like 125 in a stage, right?
No. I will check some videos of the quest name, because it's what
is it
I sure, but
I wonder if it didn't have the data because the tower is taken out and put into the game.
No, because every quest data and every grid, I generate them at every patch. So, but yeah, maybe they put the tower on another file.
You might have to rename them.
The quest, but no. Well, I will check before release it, and
yeah.
And maybe try to adapt it.
Well, because Tower's coming out next week, so
yeah. I didn't check them, but yeah.
This is an amazing feature to add to the page, and I can't wait. I'm probably gonna do a whole separate video on it when it releases, just because I think it's so cool. And I'm gonna utilize the shit out of it. Like, I'm gonna use this so much, you have no idea.
Yeah, me too. Since I start working on it, every time, like for Tether feed, for the three star, I did my fight thanks to this page.
Yeah.
Like we can show it before the release if some want to try the fight. They can prepare.
Yeah. Does it show, is there a way for it to show slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in fights where you cannot initial position?
Not sure I understand.
So you have the gold boxes there, right?
Yes.
So the gold boxes are where you can quote unquote initial position, right?
Yes.
So on stages where you cannot initial position, do you have a way to show where is unit in slot 1, unit in slot 2, unit in slot 3?
Yes. I was thinking, but yes, if we are looking our actual GVG map. Oh no, I don't put the number. I just miss the numbers, but I can get them, I think, pretty quickly.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Because I have for the enemies, like our castle exterior right now with the dark resistance. So I just missing, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry to make requests in the middle of a video.
Don't worry. It's not a problem.
So I have some final questions, unless you have more surprise announcements, Bismark.
No, that's it for now.
So just to kind of take it off on a lighthearted note, what's your favorite Final Fantasy?
Final Fantasy VI.
Okay.
Without any question. And now I even have my arms to
oh,
prove
wow.
Not sure
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is beautiful.
Every time with me.
Yeah.
Since almost a year.
Yeah.
Now, too.
So I guess for the WOTV collaboration that you would like to see, then you want a Final Fantasy VI collaboration.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, of course. But if we take a game outside of the Final Fantasy universe, I think that will be a Dragon Quest.
Yep.
Because the series is really cool, but also for another part, which will be to give players non-human characters to play. Now we have machines since the release of Nier Automata, but I really want to play monsters, nether beasts, aquatic. I don't want to see everyone play in PvP or GVG with the human killers. I want to see other killer exploited. I want to see other stuff. So I really hope one day we will have tons of species available for our available units.
Yeah, I think that would be a huge thing for them to do in the game. Lastly, final question. We made it, Bismarck. What is your favorite WOTV unit?
It should be Dwayne.
Dwayne, really?
I was one of the people who voted for it in the game. So yeah, I vote for Dwayne. So yeah, I'm one of those people. Thanks to who have Dwayne in World Vision, but still not in FAP, but still in World Vision.
That's hilarious. Well, thank you so much, Bismarck, for coming by again for the 1-year anniversary.
Thank to you.
I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the work you put in. I enjoy that you just let me message you and ask you questions all the time, or spam you in my Discord and just be like, Bismarck, there's something wrong.
Yeah, that's cool, and that's what that's why the community it's so great for World Vision to everyone want to share if something is good or bad. Everyone share it. So I really love this community.
Yeah, it's a really, I think what's really unique about the community too is that it's one of the few games that I've experienced. I think the only other game I've experienced this in is Final Fantasy XI, where it's truly a global community, where you have people from all over the world interacting with each other. And it really kind of shows you, how much better of a game I feel like it is. And kind of how regional servers, because they're going to regional servers nonstop nowadays. And I don't like that very much. I liked interacting with people from other places in the world. So
yeah,
like it, it's fun and it's great. So
yeah, it's really cool.
So you were nodding your head with Final Fantasy XI. Were you a Final Fantasy XI player, Bismarck?
I won Final Fantasy XI players.
Okay. And what server did you play on?
Whoa. It's too far away from my memory. I'm sorry, but I have a fish memory, so
that's okay.
So
that's okay. I think when I think about Final Fantasy XI, I think about suffering, and I think about there's a certain level of punishment that the players enjoyed. So there's definitely a reason so many Final Fantasy XI players are playing War of the Visions and Brave Exvius, I feel like.
Yeah, clearly, it could be linked. I still remember my hours of leveling my white mage, which was really painful at the beginning, but it is really a nice game.
Yeah, it felt good, even though it was difficult, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, Bismark, since we're at the end here, where can people find you?
They can find me on the Discord of WoTVcalc. You can find the link on the homepage of the website, or either in Twitter or on YouTube.
Yeah.
Whatever. Contact me with whatever it's easier for you. I will reply you as fast as I can.
Also, if you guys are in the Mole Colony Discord, Bismark is a special role at the top of the Discord list. So feel free to message him. And thank you so much once more. And Bismark, have a great rest of your day. And for those of you that made it this far into the video, thank you for watching.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.